Hey peeps, what's going on? What's up? This is Heavy Metal Magazine from March 1993. This is pretty cool because the cover is by Louis Royo, and it's an awesome cover. This is probably one of my favorite illustrations and art by Louis Royo is this picture. And it's pretty cool. They've got also on the back of it, they have an interesting picture too. Limited edition, blah, blah, blah. They got this photo. This is pretty cool. I don't remember the Corbin or something maybe did this one. I'm not even sure. But it's really nice. I think it is Corbin. It looks like it's got that Corbin sort of like Den of Earth kind of vibe, you know, from Heavy Metal the Motion Picture. So I haven't seen this one because it's been on my shelf and for a while, and I don't remember the last time I looked at it, so I actually don't even remember what's inside of it. So I'm gonna take a look at it. We'll take a look at it, see what the hell's in there. It's probably gonna be cool because in '93, Heavy Metal Magazine was really, really awesomely cool, and it's got something called Melting Pot on it, and right away I recognized that. Do you know like the second Heavy Metal motion picture, the second Heavy Metal movie? Called Fact 2, and then it was called Heavy Metal 2000. And before it was called Fact 2, it was called Melting Pot. And Melting Pot was the story that it was based on. I did browse in here just for a second. I just opened one page and it does say Melting Pot was done by Simon Bisley. So he's gonna do some of the art for Melting Pot, and I'll show you what the art that he does, because he's probably one of the most significant like heavy metal style artists that you can get. I mean, he's just over the top fantasy action coolness. He just does things that are cool, you know. And so right away when you open this, you can get any of these, like you could order these freaking Louis Royo prints, and they're actually pretty well priced too. Like they're not expensive. They're just a print, you know. Usually they're like, oh, well, they're not all Royo. There are a lot of other people. There's Julie Bell in here. There's Royo, a few other people, Julie Bell. Fantastic imagery of heavy metal. Oh, I don't know. It's just posters, actually. It's not just Royo, because I noticed like Royo in there, but then it's got a bunch of other people in here too, which is cool. And yeah, there's this thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so it does. God, it doesn't say who that is. It looks like Corbin. Yeah, I mean, it says right here Richard Corbin on here, so that is Richard Corbin that did that. It's interesting, like once you follow like some of these artists, you see their art style and you know like every time that they're on here, like whether it's them or not doing it. Like, and these are like right away they hit you with the good art, you know? Right away they give you like all that really cool art content in it. Okay, let's see what else is in here. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There's like the covers by Royo, Melting Pots by Kevin Eastman, Eric Talbot, and Simon Bisley. Kevin Eastman was the editor-in-chief of this magazine at the time. He was also doing Ninja Turtles, which for him was a lot more lucrative than heavy metal. More people know about Ninja Turtles than Heavy Metal Magazine. And then somebody else, Grant Morrison, became the editor-in-chief and stuff like that. Interesting stuff. Now, this is like some kind of a weird journal, whatever, but I love it when they just like totally put something weird and off the beaten path and something to totally confuse you right off the bat. It's just some kind of weird art, and it's some, you know, it's some words there, but all this one says is plop plop fizz fizz. It doesn't say anything else, so I don't know why it even says that. Plop plop fizz fizz. It's ridiculous. And then there's like more of this kind of art. And then there's more of like the text to try to explain the art. Weird art. You gotta look at this. You gotta see this art. It's weird. Look at this. Do you like this art? Do you like this fine art? That looks, I mean, let me see, wait, that's a double, yeah, it's a double page. See, whenever they do this is the thing about, you know, when they put like an art piece on 2 pages, but there's a fold in the middle, how do you actually see that in full? You can't. It's better to just put it on 1 page and make it smaller, or make you like turn the page this way or whatever, than to do that. Because look, it's double, it's got a crease in the middle. You can't see art like that. What the heck? It doesn't look good like that. It was never intended to be seen like that. And so, and also they have this, again, they've got this in every freaking single issue. The science fiction book club, where you choose from these selection, and you get 5 books for $1, and then you have to like buy an additional 4 books or something like that at full price. And then, but you know, the problem is though, you can only get, you can't just get any book. You can only get it on what's on this list. So what I'm thinking of is these were like overly produced, overly published, closeout books that they just had too many of them. So they gave them to this like book club and was like, get rid of them. I don't care. Give them out 5 for $1. It doesn't matter. We got to get rid of these books. And so they made this thing. I'm pretty sure these are just books that they were just like overpublished and they just had to get rid of them. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, Melting Pot. It's what I thought it was going to be. Melting Pot. Simon Bisley. Look at his art. He's just over the top fantasy art. Crazy shit. Just crazy. But it's very, very well made art. It's just over the top content. I mean, it's just the content of the art, the whole anatomy, like exaggerated anatomy, really cool camera angles. Art-wise, it's very good. Art-wise, if you were gonna look at that and say, how good is the art? I would say it's very good. Some more stuff happening on this page. But content-wise, it's over the top amazing. It's just what he actually draws. It's kind of weird. Let me just like, here's one. Like that. Freaking crazy shit. You know? And it's called Melting Pot. So I don't know if it really is the same thing that turned into Heavy Metal 2000. Or is it something totally different? Because sometimes I don't know what they're doing. Sometimes they're like off the beaten path and weird and just strange and doing their own thing. So you never really know sometimes what the hell it is that they're doing. Here's more. This is why I knew that was Richard Corbin and Den, because this is the actual like picture of Den by Richard Corbin, and this was also in called Hideaway. Yeah, this was all like stills from the movie, which is pretty cool. Like they even made like magazines of the movie, which was just like, they made comics of the movie, so you can watch it in movie form, you can watch it in comic book form, you can read it in comic book form, and then you can also buy art and whatever from that. And this is weird. I don't know who did this one. I do dig the art a little bit. It's pretty cool. A useless old man. Guy in a car. What's going on? I don't know. I don't know what it is. And yeah, let me just flip through this. I'm trying to flip over the stuff that, you know, the nudity that you can't really show. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. I knew that's what this was. Now, this was, okay, there was a story called Ombre, which had this character in it. This character here. This guy. He's just a badass hero. He's got a shotgun. He's really badass. He's like if you look at like Clint Eastwood badass, like more badass than Clint Eastwood, because Clint Eastwood isn't as badass as how they make this guy. I mean, he is tough as nails, you know? And you can't take him down. And the world that he lives in is crazy. They're always trying to like freaking eat him and boil him. Freaking, you know, because there's always like all kinds of like, there's horses and there's like westerns and there's cannibals and they're just freaking, it's just crazy that all of the stuff that he has to like go through and stuff. But it's a great story. This is definitely one of the best stories, and I don't. There's only a few of these. I'm not even sure who did it. Let me just see. I'm not even sure. I don't know. Who did that? I don't know. I'll look back at the where it says in the contents. It tells you like who did it and stuff. This is definitely like, I don't know if this itself is the same as the other ones that I've read, but I think it is. And as you can see, like there's a lot of badassery happening. Machine guns being shot, horses, and like all kinds of stuff happening. A lot of action in this one. He's just a badass hero, and it's really fun to sort of read this kind of story because it's really cool. You know, he's really got to like survive in this world, sort of like whole Mad Max. You know, like the Mad Max stories, where the world that he's got to be so badass because the world that he's in is so badass that he's got to be tough enough to handle the world around him. And that's the same thing with this guy. He's like Mad Max Clint Eastwood, he's just tough and has to survive in a crazy world with like bandits with shotguns and shit like that, and all kinds of stuff. And like, and he's supposed to like, the art is good. They've got some like nudity and adult like content in it though, which is like really, really cool. That's one of the good parts out of it. It's just that it's not very viewable it's not very YouTubeable, but the other stuff is still really awesome. So yeah, I told you, like people are like, going after him. See that? They're just going after him, He's got to fight with everybody. It's just insane, but it's a great story. It's not that long though. It ends there, but it's a really, really good story. H.I. Geiger, man, he's one of the most weirdest and most insane fucking artists ever, because look at the stuff done by H.R. Geiger. Yes, H.R. Geiger, I saw a documentary about him, the guy that draws this stuff. He's the one that did Alien. He created Alien, and the way the alien looks and the ship and everything. He created that. He made Alien. And all of this stuff, all of this like weird, disturbing, like pictures and stuff like that, they're all over his house. Sculptures, pictures, paintings, really weird, really disturbing, like bones and crazy shit. And he just has it all over his own house. And these are pretty cool. I don't know what this is. Ramparts of Spray. The only one that I really want to read is the one is the old man one. I really do want to read that one. The rest of these look really cool. Or Melting Pot, that actually looks pretty cool also. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. There's some interesting, like, this is nice art. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of nice. Not really a lot. Nothing really. I mean, nice art. It's definitely the guy knows how to draw. Not a lot happening though, but let's see. There's gotta be something, because a lot of times like it'll have like Heavy Metal Magazine will have like a few pages of like I don't know what's going on, and then it gets really, really good and it gets like a lot of action after 2 pages, and then you're like, oh wow, this is really cool. At first you're like, what's going on, and you have to kind of read it and figure it out and whatever. But then it gets really good after a while, and you're like, oh, okay, I see why I should have read this story. So I'm just gonna flip through this because it's just nuts. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, anything? Nice art. Interesting, very stylized, very like, a lot going on, very like people oriented, it's like drawing people a lot. Oh, this is nice. Oh wow, it's kind of cool. I don't know. It kind of goes from like this stuff to like this. That looks cool. Just art of clouds and water. Nice stuff like that. It's interesting how they go like from Simon Bisley and over the top insane demons to like clouds and water, and really beautiful pictures. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, just like flip through here, flip to the next one. Let's see, Eros Comics goes all the way, and then some. I don't know what that is. Wait a minute, there's a good one here. Graphic novels. Yeah, this one's pretty good. This graphic novel called Mercenary. I read one of these. They're really well drawn and really well done. It's just fantasy, like medieval fantasy. Knights riding dragons, princesses, towers, castles, and shit. Really cool. Really, really classic. It's they're good, well-written, well-drawn medieval fantasy stories. I just didn't know there was so many of them. I only thought there was one, the one I have. But then obviously there's like different covers, so there's probably different ones. And they show you a lot of stuff that's probably really good. It's interesting because like everything that they have that you can buy from the magazine, they're very like, if you think about it, like they make all their money in these advertisements, right? Because the actual magazine was $3.95 for like a big illustrated magazine. And you're thinking, that's a pretty good price, right? And how are they making money? Well, advertisements. That's how like comic books make their money. They put like every 2 pages that you read in a comic book, there's an advertisement for something, and then that's how they make all the money. A full page advertisement, you know, could be a few $1,000s, and they've got it throughout the whole magazine. So, you know, they just right away, $10,000, $20,000 they're probably making just by advertisements per magazine. And then they're making the money from selling the magazine to people. They're making bank. I mean, they've been in business since 1977. They're still in business. And they're still like coveted. People still like them. They're not, I wouldn't second guess their business strategy at all. I think they're doing it right. Look at this stuff. Pachyderm, is that what it is? Pachyderm, elephants. Oh, cool, look, elephants, it's so nice. Look at these elephants, man. Elephants are awesome, look at that. Jeez. That's pretty cool. It's just elephants, like a rhino. And the rhino is talking to the elephants are talking to the rhino. And then there's a fight between rhino and elephant. What the hell? I've never seen them do this kind of thing before. But it's cute. I like it. I gotta read this because I don't know what the elephants are saying and what the rhino is saying because I really want to know what that is. Elephants and rhinos. It's weird. I don't know, weird. And this one's called A Cloudy Day. And it doesn't say who it is. But because it looks like this, I don't know. I don't know if I have patience to read something that visually, what's the point of it? What is it? What's the point? You can't, like, if you can't tell, like, if visually you look at it, it's a comic book, right? Like, a book, you have to read it to find out what it is. A comic book, you have to visually look at it, and it's got to be attractive. It's got to make you want to read it. Because, like, look, it's just, not just one page of, like, basically nothing, but, like, 2 pages of nothing, you know? And then like another page of environmental, I don't know what's going on. And what's interesting is that like, usually when a comic strip is like this, right? And there's not a lot of visuals going on, usually the writing tells you what it is. But then you want to look at the visuals, right? I mean, otherwise just write a book. Like why are they even, you know, drawing pictures if they're not going to be compelling? If there's going to be like a guy in a TV set and that's the main picture for the whole page. And there's nothing else that draws your eye to it. Even with art, you make stuff to draw your eye to certain things, right? Like the Mona Lisa, you see her smile, you see her eyes, you see the way she's sitting, and that's what your eyes are drawn to. It's got to be a central focal point. If it's just, like if you look at some Monet or something like that, it's just like a pond, and there's nothing really to look at. It's just a picture of a pond. You know, it's a completely different kind of style of art completely. And a lot of like modern art is like that, where it's like, what is going on? What am I supposed to be looking at? Like, it's confusing. You know, it's just like, what is the artist intending to, what are they communicating? It's like the difference between someone actually saying a word that someone understands or someone just making up a word and saying something that nobody understands. It doesn't mean anything's better or worse. It just means what it means. Like, if you're gonna say something that's whatever, you know, if you're gonna say something that no one understands, then don't expect to be understood, right? You know. So this is some crazy shit. I don't know what this is, but this is okay. Like, see, like it's like this, which is cool. But if you look at it, it's a lot of line work, really good line work, expression, emotion. Something is going on. Like, oh man, she's upset, she's crying. Like, what is that about? Bang, bang, what is that about, right? Clang, oh my God, what's going on, right? You just feel like, oh wow. You just feel like it's attracting your attention. It's like, hey, check this out, you know? It's what it's saying. It's attracting your attention. It's like, wow, things are happening. People are saying stuff. There's emotions going on, right? Not just a badly drawn dude on a TV set. But line work is cool. Like if someone just does art with line work and does it like this, where they're just doing some, you know, inking in, it's pretty cool. I think that this actually works. It actually looks like it really can go through, right? It's like if it's nicely done line work and it doesn't have to do anything else. It is what it is. I mean, it's my opinion. Course, but everyone, I mean, no matter what anyone says, it's just their opinion. You know, no matter what. Like when someone says something, it's always their opinion. I don't even know why people like say that. Well, it's just my opinion. It's like, well, you know what? Everything that everyone says is their opinion. unless they're saying someone else's opinion, in which case they should say this is somebody else's opinion, not mine. Even like line work nudity, God, what is going on? Honestly, like, I don't know, that's some of the appeal of the magazine is the freaking nudity in it, because it's just well done nudity. It's like, they're just appealing. It's the fact that they have that. It's like what appeals from a R-rated movie to a PG-rated movie. Like in a PG-rated movie, they clean it up, they make it really nice and presentable, and they don't do anything gritty or like edgy or what, or on, you know, on the edge or something like, or like that, like over the top or anything like that. Anything that is a little bit dangerous, right? They don't do it. And that's what I like about this magazine. They just put it in there. They're like, yeah, we're you know, we're edgy, we're on the edge, we're dangerous. It's pretty cool. It just like the stories are just more interesting. It's just like watching an R movie where it's because it's censored less. When you see stuff like that, you're like, you know, this is not censored, and you know you don't have to deal with the bullshit of something censored that is gonna like change what it's saying because it can't say what it's saying and still not without having to censor it. You know, this just says it. This just tells you what it's saying, and that's like the appeal of a R movie to a PG movie. You know, it can just deal with subject matter without censoring everything about it. I think censors are like really, seriously, like censorship is completely the opposite of freedom of speech. Completely. It is completely, you know, it's something that freedom of speech, freedom of expression, nobody likes it. You know, nobody likes it. Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. What's this? The Crow. The Crow was cool. I saw The Crow. I thought it was cool. I didn't think it was that great. I really didn't think the movie was that great. But a lot of people like it. There's like some people that just love that movie and they just follow it, which is cool. I could see why you'd follow it. It's very goth, and if you're into goth, you probably would like it because there's not a lot of goth movies out there. But I really wanted to like it more than I did like it, but I didn't like it as much as other people liked it. And I don't know, it just didn't, whatever. You know, it's just like, you can't really control that, even though I like shit that other people don't like, so whatever. Like, everyone likes stuff that other people don't like, and don't like stuff that other people do like. This is pretty cool. And I think this is the continuation of the other story. So you've got like demons and shit. This is actually pretty cool. Demons and horns and fucking crazy stuff happening. That's pretty cool. And yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, it's just like, it's interesting because like when you have a magazine with a lot of content, you don't want to sit there, because it might take a while to go through the whole magazine, but you don't want to sit there and spend your time reading something that's not interesting. You want to find the interesting stuff in it and read that first, you know, and maybe go over the other stuff later. Maybe it is interesting, it just didn't look interesting at first. But, you know, otherwise it's just like, if you have pages and pages of shit that's not that interesting, why read it? You know, honestly, like, if it doesn't, especially a comic book, if it doesn't like really catch your interest within the first few pages, no one's gonna keep reading it. No one keeps reading it. It really has to keep your interest. And if, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's, you know, whoever creates comic books, it's their own take on the comic and whatever. Yeah, this one's just going on and on. Yeah. But there is some cool underwater shit happening, which is nice. It's just, I don't know, I think they just put too much content with nothing in it. The very best in science fiction, fantasy, and more. Oh, Arzak, that's cool. The Legend of Arzak. I totally recommend this one. This one here, Arzak. This is by Mobius. I mean, it is by Mobius. Arzak is from Mobius. I don't know if this is an Arzak done by somebody else. I doubt it. Arzak is Mobius. I recommend anything by Mobius. Fantastic work. Amazing work. Anything by Mobius. Even collaborations with Jodorowsky and stuff like that. Amazing, amazing work. Great art. The guy is just inspired. I don't even know where from. I mean, he's just amazing. Druna. Oh, yeah. Druna right here. Redruna. Amazing stuff. Druna is good. The rest of the stuff I don't really recognize too much. Yeah. But Arzak, Mobius, Druna, Serpieri, check that out. That's really, really cool. And then like the Corbin stuff on the back is really good. Richard Corbin. I guess it's like 15 years of world's foremost illustrated fantasy magazine. Yeah, I mean, at the time, I guess that's how old they were. Now they're like way old. I mean, from 77. And they're still around. I mean, there's not a lot of companies that are that old and still around, and they're great. Comic book companies, though, they're resilient, man. Comic book companies are still think about it, like DC, Marvel, they're from the 50s or like even before then, you know, and they're still around. It's just amazing. They just like, that's sort of like they're as good as like Coca-Cola or Kellogg's or something like that, or McDonald's, who are still around. Lots of places are just like they open later, or they just came and went, or they were around for a while and they left. This is resilient. This is around. Marvel's around. DC's around. Yeah, I still love this painting. This is freaking cool. I love this painting so much. That is just so cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Check out like the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys in another video later.